Good morning, everyone. First, let me start by saying I'm sorry I missed yesterday. I was actually kind of looking forward to it, but I was suddenly awakened by the realization that the sun was up and my alarm had not gone off. I was like, oh dear. So checked the time, and sure enough, I did not have the time to shoot, edit, and get the links out. It was going to be a very late video, and I thought, well, let's just skip it for today. Ended up feeling out of sorts about it all day. It really was kind of a strange day for me. But yeah, it was only, like I said, going into this is going to be the week from hell. And it's going to be the week from hell. Why? Because I got 9 days of PTO coming starting Saturday. You know what else is happening Saturday? The live stream. And I hope you'll be here for it. It is going to be on YouTube, because that's what my program StreamYard uses. So I would really like to see all of you, whether you watch on BitChute, CloudHub, Rumble, Odyssey, or YouTube. All show up on YouTube. We'll have a great time. And if you can't be there for the live, well, then you can catch the replay across all platforms. All the platforms I do this on. Get me? Okay, cool. So, hope to see you there. I really enjoy having you every day. Love to have you have breakfast with me. Now, for me, I'm just gonna have my cup of tea. I know me, Moots, Moots and I are scheduled to solidly be there. I think Blackwall will be there as well. I don't know, I have to check with him, see if that 10 a.m. time is good for him. And then we'll have some spots open for whoever else wants to hop in and just say hello, or throw their little 2 pennies or 2 satoshis or whatever unit of currency you want to throw in there. Alright. So as for readings for that day, I don't know, I might just keep a Rider-Waite tarot deck on hand. Might do a few little live 3-card pulls, just to see. I don't know. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. I don't know. Sure would be fun if it did. Oops. But you know what today is? Rune Casting Wednesday. One of my favorite days. It's because I have to do so little setup and tear down. and that is part of one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite days. Also marks the midpoint of the week. After today, it's all downhill from there, right? Alright, so but it's my hope that you'll turn out for the live stream. It's my hope that you'll get your friends over here for the little daily readings. You know, part of me wants to really just prove this whole YouTube algorithm thing wrong. Not that others are lying about YouTube suppressing views. What we want to do is we want to fly in the face of it. And that's why I don't care about monetization, because just like Eric generously sent me this beautiful deck of runes here, you too can throw me a little something off of my Amazon wish list. I have checked to see And Lulu does not have a wish list, unfortunately, so I might figure out other ways if you have other, like if you have objections to purchasing anything from Amazon, I totally understand that. If you have other suggestions as to how you can get your own private readings, drop them in the comments. I'll look into them and we'll see what happens. Okay. Also, I'm not going to be doing super chats during my live stream, so you won't be sending me any money. I don't want your money. I just want you there. We'll have a conversation, and hopefully we'll further it. Okay, so let's get down to your reading for today. Yours and mine, because I know this applies to me just as much as it does anyone else. And we're going to start with the hauls. So all those sacrifices you've made, they're going to pay off. Now, they may not pay off in the way you expect. They may be something a little better, something a little more suited to you. What do I mean by that? Well, we can see two halls in here, with Thor sitting in the middle of them. You have the halls of Sessrumnir and Volkvanger. That's Freya's hall. You also have the Hall of Valhall, or the Hall of the Slain, which is in Ausgarder, and that is run by Odin. Here's the thing. A lot of people within my own faith, you kind of know who the newcomers are, because what they say is, oh, I hope to go to Valhalla. Not really. I really don't think that's true. I'll tell you why. Because in order to go to either of them, you have, the ultimate sacrifice is your own life. You have to basically die in battle. It is a violent death. It is a brutal death. And here's the other part. This is how you know the new people from those who aren't so new. Freya gets the first pick of the battle dead. Odin gets the last half. So, you're all about going to Valhalla, and you give up everything to do it. And then Freya comes in, snatches you up, and off you go to Sessrumnir, to her hall. Didn't quite work out the way you thought, did it? But for someone such as yourself, someone such as me, that may be more suited. Now, there are people who go to other places. There are many, many different places to go. But don't you know, many other people ended up on a journey into hell, spelled with one L, which was a place of rest. And don't you know, those were people who died of old age, or they died of some sickness or disease that at the time could not be cured. And there was never anything said about torment there. Something to take into consideration. And it was kind of largely those people, they just kind of led uneventful lives. That is something that has to be accepted. You have to kind of move past the conditioning to get to that point, to be at peace with it. But in any case, getting back to the card, your sacrifices mean something, and they will pay off. Like I said, probably not in the way that you'd hoped, but it may be something that fits a little better. Definitely not here to say you're going to die today, but you are being guided by Saul. I think one of those things that we're going to have to sacrifice today is our way of thinking. I know with me personally, I just can't help myself. Sometimes I'll see someone say something and then I have to respond. Or sometimes I just have to react. Sometimes the best thing to do is not give those people the time of day. And there are times where I just look at the same arguments popping up again and again, and my first thought is, oh, fuck off. And as Billy Connolly, the comedian and actor, once said, there's something beautiful about the words, fuck off. Sometimes that's all you need to do. Somebody's lecturing you, somebody's babbling, someone's carrying on and on. Like Mr. Bub's staring at us right now. He's judging. Aren't you? He's like, no, give me scritches. And then we're like, oh, fuck off. And we go about our day. There's something a little cathartic about that, I think. But sometimes we're not able to say those. Sometimes we have to give that thing up and just turn and walk away. Sometimes that helps. Sometimes the best response is just doing your own thing. Don't seek permission, don't seek approval, don't seek any forgiveness. Because the people from whom that lecture is coming, they're not worth it. The situation that is causing you this kind of consternation, they're not worth it. They're definitely not worth it. Alright, so let's take a look at the runes and see what's going on. We're going to start with Thyrosaz, of course. Gabo. And then Othala. Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you this right now. Thyrosaz. I really wish this hadn't come up first, but I'm kind of glad it did. Because this is the situation we're in. We're in a great struggle. We're in a battle. We're fighting. Now the question is, how do we fight? Well, I can tell you one thing. One of the things I started doing was I started buying from let's say publishers and companies and things like that. I try to buy from those who don't hate my guts. That's a great way to start. You give your money over to, say, well, let's say if there's a company that constantly lectures you, right? Oh yes, you can buy that thing, we have made it available. But that's not who we are anymore. They hold antiquated views, don't you know? They hold archaic thoughts, and those things are wrong think. This is who we are now, and we offer this as a solution. Yeah, I'm not fond of your solution. They talk down to you, they lecture you, they tell you the kind of person you should be. They don't know you. And it's clearly time you showed that. Ladies and gentlemen, I can start this out with the first three cards. The first three cards are giving us that message when what you do in waking life is not good enough for that one person, that one entity, that one group, that one company. Do nothing for them. They can hold those views, they can have them all they want, but they do it alone. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that there are noises outside. I hope they're not getting closer. They sound like they're getting closer. Oh my goodness, they are getting closer. Today of all days. I know you can hear them. I can hear them coming through the window. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's say I were to do two different YouTube channels. On one, I express my disdain for you. I do this, that, and the third. I lecture you about who you really are. constantly. And in some ways I'm kind of doing that right now. But I'm telling you all the time, you're such a terrible person. You have no right existing, and I can't wait till you fall into a fjord somewhere. If I'm doing that, I clearly don't like you. I clearly hate your guts. Would you give me views if I did that? I don't think you would. Instead, I tell you every day that I love you all, because I mean it. And the messages that I deliver from the cards that are revealed to me are a reflection of that. That's what I know you watch. That's why I know you're here. The next card was Gabo. Gabo are gifts, like for like. I try to give a little more than I get. And isn't it interesting that this card's come up in a deck that was a gift to me? By the way, Eric, you still got two ratings I owe you. I'm keeping track. Anytime you're ready, it's all good. So, that's how I operate this channel. I'm not going to allow Google to pay me a sum of money. They still owe me about 30 cents from the previous channel I did. But I'm not going to allow them to give me money to tell me how to run my channel, because if I have them correct, they will tell me, oh, you need to tell people how bad they are based on their skin color, based on this, based on that. You need to spread the message. No, you can't afford that. Google, you cannot afford that. I'm just letting you know. Instead, I work out a deal with you. I tell you, hey, you send me something, I'll make a few videos for you, and they'll be custom tailored to you, for you only, because that's how I roll. That's how I do things. So it's not a modern system, but it's a trade and barter kind of system, right? I'm falling back on what I know my ancestors did. Oh, you don't have silver? Well, you do have a couple head of cattle there. I can give you these linens for a couple of your cattle there. That won't work for you. Okay, I understand. How about part of your seasonal crops? We'll say about 25%, and I can give you I can give you 2 chests of these linens for that. That works? Great. You've got a deal. Because that was the earliest form of how we did things. We fall back on earlier things. Just because they're old does not mean they're obsolete. I've seen some arguments today that would suggest that. So the way I'm looking at it, the overall message here is that if we just stop trying to even do for people, when they say, oh, that's not good enough, that's not good enough, that's not good enough. Okay, fine, you get nothing. You find the people who look at what you can do, look at you, look at the content of your character, look at the merit, and say, yeah, that works. Come on, hop on board. By the way, I see how you can improve this if you're interested. Guess what? That's how you win hearts and minds. Do you want to know why people are reverting to older ways of doing things these days? Because they realize that's how you win hearts and minds. And that's really what we're after. Hearts and minds. My entire purpose for bringing you these videos on a daily basis is to win your heart and your mind so that you can empower yourself. When you change your mind, you change the world around you. You have to make it a firm decision. You have to give up some of your old ways. Your old ways are not necessarily the old ways. I can tell you right now, when I was in my early to mid-20s, you probably wouldn't have even wanted to know me. I was a little bit of a negative and sarcastic person. Nowadays I'm not quite that way. It still peeks through occasionally, but it's not quite like that anymore. When you change yourself, you change everything about you. And guess what? For the people it's not good enough for, you can always say, but I've changed, and they'll be like, no, not like that. Well, not up to them. It's up to you. If you want to give up the, if you're always feeling sick and tired, or you're going to give up the things that are keeping you sick and tired, go to something a little healthier maybe. Could be healthy in the way of what you're consuming. Could be healthier in the way of what you're thinking. Better question. If you constantly bash your head against the wall, my question is, aren't you tired of the concussions? You can stop getting them if you just quit bashing your head against the wall. Do what you've always done, get what you've always got, that kind of thing. Pick your adage to use. The final thing I want to leave you with is you cannot control the world around you. You can only control you, how you respond, how you react, how you deal with it. That's it. When you get all that clear in your mind, you'll see exactly where your gifts truly are. Just look to the past. Look to those who came before you and how to develop them. Sure, they made mistakes, big ones. That doesn't mean you have to. Doesn't mean you have to throw the baby out with the bathwater just because the baby has one fingernail longer than the other. Right? Right. Pursue those higher states. Always improve on yourself. You'll do just fine. Because the gods do not deliver you from the battle. They give you the strength to endure it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's everything I have for you this morning. Just remember, I love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. Always do what lights you up. And as always, shine on. Man, I really wish I would stop doing that.